What is happening, guys? Welcome to Redbeard's Garage Mobile Mechanic Service Work, brought to you by Redbeard's Garage. So we're in North Carolina. Come and raise up. Take your shirt off and twist around your head. Spin like a helicopter. So we do some work with some people in North Carolina. And they had bought a bunch of TrailMaster go-karts for their grandbabies. So they have $200, two of them. And they have this little guy out here. Man, I look gorgeous in the sun. My gosh, dang. You keep me in the shade, I'm a 6. You get me out in the sun, I'm about a 9. Whoa.
Mini XRXR.
Mini XRXR. So they have that one. And then they have this bigger one, which is the Blazer 200EX, which is a fuel injection go-kart. So this one's fuel injection, I think a 200cc. They normally don't have much problems because they're fuel injection. I mean, maybe like every once in a while an injector going out. There's a lot of stuff in here. It's just storage shed. And then this one runs the Blazer, and this one does not. They haven't rode them in a while, and this one isn't starting, as well as the Mini XRXR. Hand model it for us, please. Bam. Okay. That looks real good. All right, so we're going to iPhone this dog. We're going to show you, if you have some of these go-karts, how do you get them running if they've set and they are no longer running. We're going to use 3 things. We're going to use my brain. We're going to use this hyper tough set of wrenches I brought and a thing of gunk. So I'm going to drain the bowl first. We're going to pull it over there to the gravel. Drain the bowl. Check that out. We're going to check gas. And then we're going to see if it'll start right off the bat. Actually, we're just going to see if it'll start right off the bat. We'll go from there. We're going to take a real quick break to talk about the sponsor of today's video, and that is Gunk. We use it all throughout this video. We're using brake clean to clean a carb, but they do have carburetor cleaner. We actually have some coming right now because we clean a lot of carbs, but I keep that thing on me all the time. This is my favorite chemical that they have. But something else we use a lot, we keep these Gunk wipes in our camper, our truck, in our kitchen, because these are super nice when you don't have water to wash your hands. These will clean your hands up super fast and get even the toughest grease and oil off your hands. And one thing I use them for in the shop, pulled too many out, is cleaning my tools. You can see these Milwaukee tools, of course, being bright red, they get a lot of dinginess to them, and the rubber gets real greasy feeling because we build engines and use impacts and stuff a lot. But look how good these wipes work. If we just scrub on the red area, it'll get it looking really good. I mean, that was just a second. These tools are pretty beat up, so they're only going to look as good as they're going to look. But you can see how much brighter they get. And then if we rub down the handle, this is what feels the grossest of these tools, is getting the grease feel off of these handles. So I normally wipe down my tools about once a month. I'll come out here when I'm bored, clean them up with Gunk wipes. We even use them, I mean, you can degrease around your grill with these things. Super handy. And they're rough on one side, then if you open them up, they're softer on the inside. So they have like 2 different cleaning areas to them. So if you really want to scrub, use the outside. If you want to be gentle, use the inside. So check out Gunk everywhere they're sold. Links are in the video's description for a bunch of different Gunk products. Thank you, Gunk. Gas smells like gas. Like, it don't smell like varnish yet. These are cool little go-karts. Honestly, there's maintenance like any go-kart. You got a lot of maintenance, but they got good steering angle. That's a ton of angle for these little go-karts. Coleman, you ain't done that. Seriously though, Colemans do not steer with flip-flop. These got a lot of angle. They have reverse, which the new Coleman go-karts do. Listen, folks, we're not sponsored by TrailMaster. Would we like to be? Sure. But we're not. We got the mobile mechanic vehicle right there. Super duty. All right, let's see if it'll start right off the bat. Choke's on. That's on. That's on. Batteries are dead on every one of them. I did tell him when he bought these to put a trickle charger on them when they're not being used. So fuel's on. Fuel is on. Come on. Come on. Now let's check spark first. So I'm gonna do how I'm gonna do that So I'm gonna pull the air box. See if it will fire with brake cleaner. Thank you, Grayson. Grayson's on butt crack duty. I do have plumber in my blood. All right, let's get the go-go juice. Okay, so it's definitely a fuel-related problem. So now we're going to see if fuel is getting to the bowl by cracking the 10 mil on the bottom of the cart. All right, I'm going to shut the fuel off so we don't drain a bunch of fuel. Hoping to not get this gas on me. I knew I had a big old carpenter ant on me. Get, carpenter ant, get! You got 10 mil on the bottom of the bowl. So far, there ain't a drop of gas. There she goes. All right, so what I'm gonna do is let it drain the entire bowl out. That gas does look a little brown. I think he was putting non-ethanol in this, but we're not 100. So you can see it's empty. Now we're gonna check, see if fuel's flowing. And it is. We're gonna let it drain the fuel line out for a second. Now it's coming out clear. So I would assume maybe the gas in the bowl was a little crusty dusty. Gas now, I'm telling you, when we was kids, gas had a different smell to it. Even if you use non-ethanol gas, it doesn't smell the same that it did when I was a kid. We would start stuff that had been sitting for a year. All right, so I turned the gas back on. We're gonna see if just that fixes it. Whoa. Lovely assistant, pull the choke out, please. Pull the knob. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe not. So if this doesn't work, then we know we've got an issue where the jet could be caught.
Thinking about it.
I don't know a little bit. Nope, it was just drinking what I put in there. All right, so now we know spark's good, obviously, and compression and everything, which we knew that was good in the first place. Now we can take the air box out. So one thing you can do to cause suction on the carb, it's hard with this stud, is you can block off this, pull it over a few times, and it'll cause a suction on the carb, and sometimes can suck any clogged jets and free them up. I'm gonna try to do that. It's hard to block it. Now, let's see. So it's not one to idle, but that basically fixed our problem. Because you're causing the suction, air can't flow through the carb, so it's sucking through all the orifices in the carburetor. So it actually, it's just not one to idle, which means the jets are clogged. So we're gonna have to pull the bowl. I mean the carb. Shut the fuel off. So we got the two tins off the front. We also have a tin on top here. Try not to burn myself on the hot muffler. I did a freaking 3-hour free rev. This is the choke bracket as well as a secondary brace for the air box, what I'm unscrewing here. So as soon as we get it, this whole thing will come off. Can we get it with a set of Walmart wrenches? No, because we'll have to have a pin screwdriver. So this I think is a 168cc. So this is comparable to a GX 160 Honda, which is the little baby boy. So there's our air box. We got this little spacer, plenum spacer thing. You can see there's a little gum around that, and that's definitely from the fuel gumming it up. These are cool because they have chokes. A lot of these go-karts have chokes on them. And you gotta push choke cable through, and you should be able to slide it out. So that's how we hook up the choke. Now we just have to shut the fuel off, which is sideways is off. Should be. And then we can, sorry, Grayson's on his Lamborghini back there. Gotta pull out the throttle, unhook his spring. The last thing we have to do is unhook the fuel line. I don't have any pliers on me, so we're gonna try to do this. What we got? Take this wrench. Just gonna drain some fuel out. Nope. Grayson's back there just living live, baby. All right, I'm gonna let this carb, I'm gonna tilt it over, drain the gas out. So there's also a little filter in here. If you're not getting gas to your carburetor, you can pull this with the 10 mil, and there's a little screen and stuff inside there, and an O-ring you can place. Sometimes these will start leaking, but this is nice because it's a serviceable one. Some of them aren't serviceable, these stock style carbs. As you can see the little gum right there, it's built up, has a little yellow gum around it. That's where it's the carb's gummed up. Pull the carb nut, bolt. Yeah, look at that. See that nastiness? He probably needs to put a better fuel filter on it. I bet that's what it is, mainly. Yeah, you see the gunk in the bottom of that hog. So we're gonna make sure to clean it out. And this O-ring came out with the bowl. It sets in that lip. If you don't get it seated right, it's gonna leak. We need to clean the main jet, which is right in there. But we're gonna just try to blow through all the holes in this hog. Try to get it cleaned out. So try not to get it in your eyeballs. Stick the tube down in the main jet. This should spray right in the throat of that carb. It is spraying out though. We're gonna put it in there. Spray those out really good. You see it sprayed out? Okay, just gonna clean everything really good. One thing I'm gonna do is blow out the fuel inlet. And that'll come out. That's just cleaning our needle and seat, which is right here. You can pull that out and check it. It was working fine. So we pull this rod. So we pull that rod out of the float, and the float will lift up with the needle and the seat. Everything looks good on this, so it don't even need cleaned. Okay, now we're just gonna slide that pin back in, get it aligned, slide it back in. So I'm gonna take a few minutes to clean all this out and make sure everything's blown out as best as I can get it, and then throw it all back together, see if it starts up, which it should. Because what the problem is now is we have the main jet freed from holding our hand over the carb, you know, like I was showing you guys. Now we just got to make sure the pilot circuit is free. So we have this screw here, and this adjusts your idle. If you tighten it up, it like pre-turns the throttle. So I'm going to tighten it up all the way and count them, and then remove it completely to get this little emulsion tube thing out. So that's half.
1, 1/2, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5.
4. So it's 4 turns out. So I know when I put it back in, I can tighten it all the way and go full 4 full turns.
It's a tongue twister.
So we take that out. Now that allows us to be able to pop this out. I'm gonna try to do it with my limited tools here. Yep, we got it. So you can pop that out. It's got an O-ring on it. You can buy different emulsion tubes and stuff. See, it's got a little tiny jet in the bottom of it. We need to make sure that's clean as well. Hose on it and just get it really in our eyeballs here. Okay. Now I'm going to shine a flashlight, see if I can see through that. Then we can reassemble this. I've got a flashlight in my pocket. Yes, if you shine it through the side of it, you can see light coming out. So we do have light coming through. So now we can take this and pop that down in there. You can see how it's flattened on each side and it goes in one way to align the hole. Now we can take our, oh crap, sticks, my biscuit muffet. Okay, all right. Now we can tighten our screw back up, our plastic retainer. And that also holds, so not only does this adjust your throttle, but it also holds that emulsion tube in. 4. All right, now we can put the bowl back on. Make sure your pin's in your, so this is going on like this. So I'm gonna aim this is how the carb goes on. I'm gonna aim this drain out this way so I can get to it if I ever need to drain the carb. I didn't clean the bowl. Good thinking, Greg. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
This is kind of their second home. Some people can afford it. We can't. We only have a one home. So they may have an old toothbrush laying around. We could maybe borrow. Clean this carb the right way. But it's already getting that crap out. And bonus, they won't have to worry about grass growing right here. Good to go. So we're going to take our carb. We're going to make sure our pins in our needle and seat. We're going to put this bowl on, making sure that O-ring seats where we want it to, in the groove. Grayson's just reliving his 5-year-old self over there. Get a hit of that. I wish we had named him Leroy. He looks like a Leroy. Sorry.
You think I'm driving it for real? No. Using remote control.
Oh, you're using a remote control.
Look.
Kids these days so lazy, you gotta remote control it. Grayson used to call go-karts dough tarts.
Why are we exposing you?
Sorry. Alright, we'll get an up close shot of this. So this is all you have to hook up on these stock carbs. A lot of people that watch my channel already know this. You know, they're getting into building engines, but you basically have this little return spring that helps this to return. Then you have the throttle that goes into this mechanism. You got to get it seated down in there, and then it goes under that little ear there. Then fuel line, you can seat that all the way against it. You really need to have this spacer on there. Storm's rolling in. We may die. I don't know. This vent, I don't like this vent into the valve cover, but you know, it's the way it comes, that's the way I'm putting it back. If this was my dough tart, I'd put a breather, I put an air filter and jet kit on this hog, let it really breathe. I let my kid really open it up. You ain't gonna govern my kids. Not on my watch. And you got this nipple right there on the air box. It's on Predators and everything. That's going to sleeve right onto that, so it vents the crank back into the carb. It's not the best way, especially on a go-kart. Whoa, first we got to do the choke. So with this choke bracket, which is really cool that they do this style, you can see it's got an eyelet in that little flathead. See that? Mm-hmm. So we're going to sleeve that in there like so, and then pull it flush. Now we're ready to put the air box on and let this hang for a minute. You got a hook. I'm gonna turn the throttle, the fuel back on. Okay. You gotta line everything up, get that hose plugged up to that nipple. And then once you get the hose on the nipple, then you can slide it back and put our 2 carb nuts on there. It's going to be the same process, by the way, on the next go-kart. But, you know, we'll show you, just in case. Here, a trusty dusty 10. We're going to tighten this hog up. Man, it's been a while since I haven't used power tools.
Going back to your roots.
Back at the roots, baby. I'm sweating like a pig out here, baby. You got a southern pig up here in North Carolina. Get this good and tight. We already got the fuel on. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Okay, last thing is the 10 mil up here. And this is going to slide through the choke bracket and then thread into the throttle assembly. You can see this is the choke bracket here, and it sandwiches on this, and this also bolts down the air box. Pretty cool little design. I wish I could find these brackets to sell on the website so you could put a choke on a regular go-kart. You know, someone's building one. These are very hard to find for some reason. All right. Everything good? Great. Our air filter back up? No, we can't. We got this bottom of the air box. It goes on. There's a little slit. Is that set in there? It's weird. They made this really flim-floppy. Got a gasket. This gasket goes on the bottom side for the air filter. Got the air filter. Okay. Got a wing nut. We're gonna get this put on. Now, who thinks it'll actually run? Or be with us? Okay. Think it's gonna run?
It wants to.
That's no choke. A lot of these will not start unless they're choked. The batteries are all dead. These are all electric start.
That was easy.
Grayson, pass out this go-kart. It's my stunt driver, Grayson, number 34. Aim it down, full throttle. Yeah. So it's weird how this did gum up. It's very strange. I haven't had a car gum up in years. What I did tell him when I put these things together for him, I did tell him if you're setting these things for winter, you should shut the fuel off at the gas tank, run it until it's completely dies, then shut the fuel off at the carburetor. There's two shutoffs on these go-karts. Then it's really good to pull that air box and spray all those little holes in the front of your carb with, you can use Blaster multi-purpose lubricant. Spray it full of all those holes, and that way you have no, and even crack the bowl, because there'll be a little fuel that sits in there, a little residual. Crack the bowl or even pull it, spray it out with brake cleaner from Blaster. Don't use another brand, it will not work. And then put the bowl back on and leave it like that for winter. Then as soon as you put fresh gas in the tank, drain your gas tank as well, it's going to fire up almost every single time. Because that little bit of fuel sits in the bottom of the bowl where it's not getting pulled up into the main jet. That's what gums up, because it's sitting there in just this tiny bit of fuel and it turns to tar or something. Thanks, bro. Welcome, bro. Okay, next one. Probably going to be the same process. All right, we're on the next go-kart. Found this brush. Hold that for me, son. Oh! He got them hands. All right, battery's dead on this one, of course. Grayson, pull that choke knob out. I think inside the steering wheel. Let's check the. What is it? Oh. Okay, so the fuel was left on. Okay. So this one's not starting either. Of course, that's what we thought. First, we're going to drain the bowl just in case it's got crusty gas in it. Do that with 10 mil in the bottom. Oh yeah. Well, it's hard to give you guys a view here. Yeah, the gas is like brown coming out of it from where it's been sitting.
Oh.
You watch your mouth, Delroy. Hey, Delroy, will you hand me that brake cleaner over there? We're going to use it as carb cleaner because that's all we got on us.
Where?
It's over yonder in that can. Okay, we got some fresh gasoline now. Is that neutral, boy?
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
It is.
In the middle?
Yes, it is.
It's in the middle, Delroy?
Yes.
Okay, you're right. I'm
I
wrong.
forgive you. See, don't let anybody push your faith down.
Yeah, don't let them question your faith.
Oh.
You see? You like that.
All right, she's going to take off like a Scott Blade.
Put the choke down. Choke.
Choke there. Hold it before. So basically, by holding my hand over that, it's causing that hard suction that can suck any like build up out of the jet, and it works pretty good. I mean, it's off. Puppy fix. Let me put the air filter on there, Roy. You take for a spin, all right? This is kind of quick, easy service you can get with Redbeard's custom mobile tuning and repair. Unfortunately, we're not doing these services at all, nor did we ever. This guy's a great friend, and we will charge him handsomely. One more wing nut there, Roy, and you'll be able to rip the guard up. I lost the wing nut under the go-kart. Look at that. Oh, gosh, I'm getting the coke of the exhaust. Oh. All right there, Roy. Burn rubber, not your soul. Woo! So the biggest difference between that one and this one, a little bit more cc's, but a torque converter is what you're really getting. Woo! That was hot. Yeah! All right, we gotta find this wang nut, which is invisible, obviously. Found it? Oh! Hey, she's trying to show off her rank. What she did. All right. Can you shut her off? There's headlights.
Go left. Oh,
Hit the red button. Red button. Ain't the nerd. I don't know what the dealio is with that. Oh, there it is. So the steel switch right here came off. So basically, if we ground this out, it'll shut off. So that came unplugged from a harness. We just got to find out what harness. Where
your harness?
Your freaking mom's harness. Sorry. So, I mean, honestly, you can find these go-karts all the time on Facebook with this exact problem. Some family that have no mechanical knowledge or anything buys them. They run them for a season and they set. They won't start, and they literally sell these for half the price.
I'm gonna nag and nag and nag.
And they just nag.
I need
and
help.
nag.
I need
And the
help.
mom's inside like, get the go-kart running, get the go-kart. And he's like, honey, do you want me to pay the bills? You want the go-kart running? It's a big dilemma in this nation. What's tearing families apart? Anyways, they'll put them up for sale. And this is normally what it is. And if you don't want to clean the carb, you can buy the carb for like $10 on Amazon. Or you can slap a Makuni on it or something. But then you're gonna be like, Redbeard, my go-kart ain't starting. And I'm like, what do you want me to do, boy? There's a plug right there. Now she will shut off. Must not been latched. All right, that's 2 go-karts fixed. If you're a small engine, trying to start a small engine repair shop, you could easily charge 2 hours if you wanted, like round up, you know, whatever you're charging, $30 an hour, 40, 50. You could have made a quick Hunsky, quick Bill, quick Benjamin, baby. Anyways, easy repair, you know, check out your boy for the repairs. One love, Jesus and me out.